Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Well, I would say Jaron, it's on. As far as Jaron boots Ennis and Cody Crowley. Kind of got some good news here. We just got to wait to see if we can get some more facts on what's currently developing between Jaron and Cody. Just got word from Dan Raphael that the IBF has now has notified its registered promoters that today's 12 o'clock purse bid for Jaron Ennis versus Cody Crowley has been canceled. So when you see that a purse bid gets canceled, that can mean a couple things. And I haven't really heard anything else about that, but what I would suspect is that that was canceled because they were able to reach some sort of agreement. Or it could be that maybe they just decided that the fight's not going to go forward, or somebody is holding up negotiations. But I would tend to think that a deal's been reached and everything is all good now. However, we just got to wait and see. But this is the thing. The reason why, let me expand this picture for you right here so y'all can see, because Jaron boots Ennis, he's been missing in action. But anyway, a mandatory title fight between, Crowley and boots Ennis, they couldn't reach an agreement. Crowley was talking about the money. He said at one point something about $50,000, something crazy. But as a result of not being able to reach an agreement, a purse bid hearing was set. Now, these negotiations for Cody Crowley and boots Ennis, everybody involved was hoping that those guys can get together for that for that welterweight title clash, because they're fighting for Jaron boots Ennis IBF strap. They were hoping that negotiations would end with a deal in place. And when I think about that, it makes me feel like Jaron boots Ennis, he's not quite where he thinks he is in his career yet. So you can't just come out here and think you can do like a Tyson Fury and say you take 10, 20% and I take the rest. I mean, the pot of money is not so large to where someone's 10 or 20% is going to be in the millions. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the sanctioning body, we're talking about the IBF, they had to inform those guys that when they sit down to meet, it needs to be done via Zoom. That's why Dan Raphael posted that the conference that was set up has been canceled. Now, the winning bid must be accomplished by a 10% deposit, another 10%, and with signed agreements provided to the IBF no later than 5 business days after the hearing to validate the session. So that means whoever was involved with bidding for the fight, they would have to put down a 10% deposit, and then another 10%, and with signed agreements provided to the IBF no later than 5 business days after today. However, the hearing was canceled, so makes you wonder what exactly is going on. I personally think that could be a good sign, because if it was a bad sign and somebody wasn't happy, I would think that Cody Crowley, like he's done in the past, would have taken to social media and had something to say. But anyway, I just pulled up an article that says the development, as far as them having to go to purse bid, it came after the March 1st deadline passed without a deal in place. Let me see if I can. Here we go. They say the development after the March 1st deadline passed without a deal in place for the mandatory title fight. Philadelphia's Ennis is represented by his father and head trainer Derek. Okay, so I don't know why they put that. Bosey. And it says TGB Promotions, Tom Brown, was a point of contact in negotiations for Canada's Crowley. Ennis was elevated to full titleist from interim last November 28th. The sanctioning body informed him at the time that his next mandatory would be due by March 28th. The scheduled purse bid will obviously push back that deadline, but for the moment does not provide Ennis with room for a voluntary defense. Per IBF Rule 9C, Ennis and Crowley are now required to honor the ordered purse bid hearing to avoid disciplinary action handed down by the sanctioning body. Any fighter who abandons the purse bid process or does not honor the outcome will receive a demotion in the rankings plus a 6-month probation period where they cannot participate in an IBF sanctioned fight. Okay, so if Crowley says F y'all, he can go fight WBC, WBA, or WBO sanctioned fight. It says, interestingly, Crowley found himself in position to challenge for this title after he previously violated those very terms. Well, we know the secret society is in full effect. You know what I'm saying? Now, for those of you who didn't know, Crowley is 30 years old. He's from Canada. He's a southpaw. In my opinion, he fights like Earl Spence, just with no power and a little more reckless. But he now trains in Las Vegas, and he was ordered to face England's Ikal Usman in a title eliminator. Queensberry Promotion won a purse bid hearing for the bout last September with a paltry $63,000 bid. It was never believed that Crowley would go through with the fight, though another opportunity was speculated at the time. Nobody's going to go through with the fight when there's $63,000 to be split. That's ridiculous. Usman went on to lose to countryman Harry Scarf via unanimous decision in their IBF title eliminator last November 18th in England. Scarf is now on course to face former interim title challenger Karen Chakadjian in a final elimination bout later this spring. So Chakadjian is back in the mix. And it just says here that Ennis won an interim title. We know what he did to Chakadjian January 6th in D.C. And he made one successful defense against Roman Villa in July. So now we're coming up here on a year of Jaron Ennis being out the ring. They say ultimately the hope was for Ennis at the time to land a shot at the full IBF title. But we know Terrence Crawford had other plans where he didn't want to fight him because it just wasn't enough time, I think, even for him to try to negotiate that fight. But they stripped him. Simple. Took the belt, gave it to Ennis. And Crawford wasn't too thrilled about that, but it is what it is. Ennis was on course to face ring number 7 rated Mario Barrios. Those plans were parked because for a variety of reasons, but I know Barrios' girlfriend was pregnant or something like that, and he didn't want to miss out on any time with the whole pregnancy, especially possibly missing the birth of the child. But that being said, Jaron, it's on, is what I think, because I can't see, especially Jaron, wanting to lose his IBF strap. Cody Crowley, with everything he's gone through, being okay with being inactive and going another route. But the bottom line is, I would not be surprised if Cody Crowley put some duck sauce on the fried rice. We just got to wait and see. Good luck to Jaron Ennis, because it just seems like my boy just can't get a fight. And it's the boxing politics, you know what I mean? He wants to fight, but he can't make these guys get in the ring with him. I wish there was some way that whenever a fighter ducks an opponent, that the opponent gets like a $100,000 like grievance fee, you know, just for the suffering and the trauma that they've endured as a result of not being able to defend their belt. This is crazy, but I'm optimistic. Hopefully we'll get some more news later this afternoon, and then we can share that with you guys. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.